Hello and welcome everyone. In this video we'll be taking a closer look at all the weapons fully upgraded in Resident Evil 4 Remake, so you can decide which weapon suits your playstyle the best. So without any further ado, let's get started. Starting off, we got the SG09R, which is not the most powerful pistol, but if you get the exclusive, it will increase the chance of a critical shot by 5 times, resulting in a 25% chance to get a crit. This is very useful for dealing with normal enemies, and it's noticeable while playing, because you'll be one-shotting a lot of enemies with it. Additionally, you can get the laser sight for this weapon, which is a huge advantage to have in this game due to this very annoying bloom mechanic, which means the shot can go anywhere in this crosshair. Okay, so next up we got the Punisher. Despite the lack of power, this weapon can penetrate through 2 enemies at once, and if you get the exclusive it can go through 5 enemies, and that's pretty sweet for taking on a bunch of bad guys at once. But honestly, when it comes to crowd control, shotguns and grenades are still gonna be your best bet. Still, some people really like using the Punisher, and it's not a bad weapon overall, and you can also add the laser sight to this one, and that's always a nice thing to have. Next up, a big fan favorite, the Red 9. This weapon is the most powerful handgun in the game, with its firepower reaching 4.05, which is a lot, and a decent capacity and overall stat. This weapon can kill most enemies in 2 or 3 shots, making it useful for dealing with all types of enemies. However, the downside of this weapon is its accuracy, as it has a very big bloom and the shots can go anywhere, making it nearly impossible to use for distant enemies. You can equip the slot to make it a lot better, but then it will end up taking a lot of your inventory space, 16 slots in total. Is it worth it? For the most part, yeah, it is. Next up we got the Blacktail. This is really a powerful handgun with a 3.6 firepower. It does not fall off far behind the Red 9, and what makes it special is the small size of this weapon, taking only 4 slots from your inventory, which is a very nice thing to have in this game, especially compared to the Red 9, which takes 4 times the amount of space, and it does not come with any attachments. And the downside of this weapon is that it can hold up to a maximum of 13 shots, which is the lowest one of all the handguns, and this really weird recoil every time you shoot. This was really annoying for me, but you need to try it in order to see if it bothers you or not, and if it doesn't, it's a really nice choice considering all the other benefits it has. The Matilda. The only way to get this weapon is to trade it from the merchant for 10 spinels, and for the best experience it's highly recommended to use the stock, and that's another 12 spinels. So that is the first downside of this weapon, and when fully upgraded this weapon has a decent firepower for a pistol, and a huge capacity of 60 bullets, and a 3-shot burst. This makes it feel more like an SMG rather than a pistol, but it does use pistol ammo, and trust me, it uses a lot. One of the main uses of the handgun in this game is to use it on small enemies to save ammo, but this weapon doesn't do that at all. And the only way I would use this weapon is with a cat ears accessory in New Game Plus. Last but not least, the Sential Nine, which is a DLC weapon, and it's somewhat similar to their first handgun, but with a slightly less firepower and a faster fire rate, and a lot more ammo capacity. That, and with the critical shots exclusive, it easily beats the first handgun, and it's my favorite pistol in the game. But it is a DLC weapon, and you need to pay extra money to get it if you don't have the deluxe edition, which is a major downside. But if you do have it, it's a really nice pistol, and I highly recommend it. The W870. If you're looking for a reliable and devastating shotgun, look no further than the W870. With the exclusive upgrade, it has 20.2 firepower, which makes it the strongest shotgun in the game. This weapon packs a serious punch and can take down most enemies with just 1 shot, especially in medium and short ranges. It has a decent spread, making it ideal for taking out groups of enemies or dealing with strong and individual bosses. It's a solid choice overall. When it comes to choosing the perfect shotgun in this game, the Riot Gun is definitely a strong contender for the top spot, and that's because of a combination of impressive qualities such as its long range, rapid fire rate, and high accuracy. The fact that you don't need to pump the gun after each shot makes it a formidable weapon that can be used to quickly take down enemies without giving them a chance to strike back. With a firepower rating of 19.2 and a long range, it has the potential to cause significant damage to even the toughest enemies in the game, making it an ideal choice for players who want a reliable weapon that can deal with almost any situation that comes in their way. Whether you are facing hordes of ganados or battling against a strong and powerful boss, the Riot Gun is definitely a force to be reckoned with. The Striker. This particular weapon used to hold a special place in the hearts of many players in the OG RE4, not only due to the infamous dismount glitch, but also because it outperformed all the other shotguns in almost every aspect. However, this is no longer the case in the remake, as the weapon has been significantly downgraded. First of all, it now has the lowest damage output out of all shotguns available, and its range is really short with a very wide spread, making the accuracy a big problem. While it does offer some benefits, such as being compact enough to take less space in your inventory, and an ammo capacity of 48 shells coupled with a rapid firing rate, you can almost go full auto with this thing. Unfortunately, ammunition is a bit tight in this game, and it can only be useful for short range, so these features may not be as useful as they initially appear. All things considered, this weapon is no longer a top choice and therefore is not a recommended option. This is the second DLC weapon in this game, and that is its biggest downside. But if you do have it, it's actually a pretty damn good weapon with a good firepower and a good spread and a short to medium range. The fact that it's relatively lightweight and it doesn't take up much space in your inventory makes it a practical choice for this game. The only downside is that it can carry only 6 shots at a time, but the reload speed is pretty decent and it's really satisfying to shoot. The way Leon holds the gun over his shoulder makes it easier to land headshots. It's a really good weapon, but I wish you didn't need to pay for it. But if you have the deluxe edition, it's a nice addition to have. The TMP is a versatile weapon that can hold its own in a variety of combat situations. Its high rate of fire makes it an ideal choice for taking down a large group of enemies quickly, while its accuracy and decent damage output makes it effective against tougher enemies as well. That being said, if you want to get the most out of this weapon, it's highly recommended to use the stock attachment to reduce the recoil and improve accuracy. With the stock equipped, the TMP becomes even better and can take down enemies with ease. The RE5 is a good weapon that is well balanced in terms of overall stats and effectiveness. Its penetration power allows to pierce through up to 5 enemies at once, making it particularly useful in crowded or tight spaces where multiple targets may be present. You also have the option to equip the scope on the RE5, which can be helpful in certain areas of the game, but I really like using it without the scope because I found the recoil to be really annoying. Overall, the RE5 is a good choice for any player looking for a dependable and a powerful weapon, but I do prefer the TMP because if I want the penetration power, I can use the rifle for that. The SR M1930. The SR M1930 is the most powerful rifle in this game. Rifles in general have a unique feature where if you manage to shoot the enemy's weak spot, the damage output is tripled. With this weapon, the total damage dealt is an impressive 31.8, which is a lot higher than most of the other weapons in this game. However, the weapon's fire rate is somewhat lacking, but once fully upgraded, the fire rate becomes much more manageable and you'll find it to be an absolute beast. If you can look past the slightly low fire rate, this one is a highly effective weapon that can take down most enemies with ease. It's definitely worth consider adding to your arsenal, especially when facing tough bosses. The Stingray is not the most powerful rifle, but it has the triple firepower ability for weak spots. In addition, it has a very fast fire rate for a semi-automatic weapon, making it a decent choice for both long-range and short-range combat. For those who prefer to engage enemy from a distance, a scope can be attached to this weapon. However, even without a scope, the Stingray is a popular choice among very skilled players like Insomnia Virus, who holds the world record for village in Mercenaries mode, and he uses the Stingray to take down enemies. Despite its lower overall power, the combination of its unique power multiplier and high fire rate makes the Stingray a formidable weapon in the right hands. The CQBR is a fully automatic rifle that can be used with or without the scope, though I personally prefer using it without the scope in order to reduce the recoil. It has an even bigger firepower than the Stingray and a much faster fire rate because it's full auto, making it an excellent choice in combat. However, its fully auto function can quickly deplete rifle ammo, which is already a bit scarce in this game, and this can be a significant downside, as the weapon won't perform as well without a sufficient supply of ammo. That being said, the CQBR might be useful in New Game Plus and if you have the cat ears accessory, which grants you unlimited ammo supply. The Brocken Butterfly is actually the most powerful magnum available in the game, surpassing even a fully upgraded hand cannon in terms of raw damage output. Its immense power makes it an ideal weapon to take down bosses, but using it against regular enemies would be wasteful for its precious ammo. However, due to the large bloom it has, it can be difficult to hit your targets, so it requires some level of skill and precision in order to use it effectively. It's important to avoid wasting magnum rounds, so make sure to use it only when it's necessary and when you're confident that you can land your shots. The Killer 7 may not have the same raw power as the Brocken Butterfly, but what it lacks in power makes up in other areas. For example, this weapon has a significant higher critical shot rate, which is 30%, meaning that you can deal double the damage when that happens. Additionally, it comes equipped with a laser sight that greatly improves accuracy, making it easier to hit your targets, and it has a faster reload time and a larger capacity, giving you more opportunities to fire off your shots and a bigger chance to land them. Ultimately, the choice between the Brocken Butterfly and the Killer 7 comes down to your personal preference and playstyle, and you can tell me which one do you prefer down in the comments. The Bolt Thrower. This weapon has some special abilities that no other weapon has. For example, it has retrievable ammo so you can get your arrows back after you shoot them, and you can use the mine arrows to blow up enemies or use them as mines that blow up when enemies are nearby. It has another feature which is a completely silent arrow, so if enemies don't know where you are, you can shoot them without them noticing you. Unfortunately, it's Resident Evil and not Metal Gear, so that's not really useful. Other than that, this weapon is pretty bad overall. It has a very low firepower from normal shots, and while mines are good, this weapon has a very rare ammo and you can't retrieve it if you use the mines. It's also really hard to make the ammo because you'll need a large resource combined with a knife to make normal arrows and an additional small resources with some gunpowder to make mines. It's absolutely not worth it to fully upgrade it. The Chicago Sweeper is considered as an SMG, so before you get the exclusive it will be using SMG ammo, and it's a really powerful weapon that can easily mow down hordes of enemies with its fully automatic firing mode, making it effective in almost every situation. Its unlimited ammo supply makes it even more valuable, as you don't have to worry about reloading or conserving ammo during intense firefights. Overall, the Chicago Sweeper is a reliable and a good choice for players who are looking to sweep through enemies with no sweat. While the handcannon is not the most powerful magnum in the game, like I said earlier, it still has a really high damage output. And with the exclusive it gets unlimited ammo, and that makes it a total beast, because you'll be using it against all types of enemies, but it's especially good against bosses. And the good thing is that you don't have to worry about reloading at all, and that always makes the game a lot easier. So that is it guys for this video. Before you go, I want to know which weapons are your favorites. You can let me know down in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, consider liking the video and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching and peace.